Welcome to the 60th Chicago Midwest Emmy Awards. Here's a look back at our past 60 years.
All of Chicago Television presents the first Chicago Academy Show.
The Chicago chapter of this great organization foretells the future of our industry in a great city. The spirit of cooperation is everywhere.
I was thinking to myself, what an amazing night this is in the history of TV.
I'm very fond of Chicago myself. See, I've always said it's one of Waukegan's nicest suburbs.
Your meeting tonight is proof that you intend to get together and learn more and better techniques, and that's all to the good, I think.
Good evening and welcome to the most important night of the year, Chicago Television. And it seems as though everybody you see on Chicago Television throughout the year is here tonight. The newscasters, commercial people, moderators, weathermen.
A month of nights, a year of days, October's drifting into May.
I had a run down from upstairs to be down here, and I'll tell you the truth, I'm fed up with the program already.
Some of this evening is going to be spent looking back at Chicago television in the past. We've come a long way, baby.
Hey! Pretty good seats on there.
This is the story of our lives.
This is the story of our lives.
I actually thought that we wouldn't win tonight, so I got drunk.
I guess we should thank the little people, Hervé Villachez and Walter Jacobson.
I will not soon forget Marianne Childers. If I can't have her body, I'll take her gown.
The Board of Governors is proud to award the Governor's Award to Bob Bell.
To children everywhere, thank you for being in the audience. Thank you very much.
We've changed a hell of a lot over the years, so have you.
I present the Governor's Award to Roger Ebert and to Gene Siskel's beloved wife, Marlene Eglinton.
This award will represent to our children their father's standard of excellence.
And on behalf of my friend Gene, I want to thank you for this Governor's Award. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much.
We do want to have pictures of all of you winners so that later we can go on the internet and put your head on Anna Nicole Smith's body.
There's only one thing left for me to do. I'm going to Santa's Village!
If you'd like to thank somebody and they're not here, thank them in person. They'll appreciate it more.
The higher the hair, the closer to God.
Why don't you TV people ever stay put?
I am proud to be your host this evening. Let's get back to reality.
here is a snapshot of the career of our Governor's Award recipient, John Brewer.
I want to thank you so much for honoring my husband. It gives us great pleasure.
It's a shame they don't televise this anymore.
I thank you for honoring these people. Good night.
I love a rainy night. I love to hear the thunder, watch the lightning when it lights up the sky. Showers wash all my cares away.
I know your hands are greasy with baba ganoush, but we can have a good time tonight and give out some awards.
Hello, television people. Can you hear me?
May you never be on my show.
Welcome to the Chicago Emmy Awards, everybody. Who's ready to party, huh? It is once again time for the new episode of everybody's favorite telenovela, Noticias de mi Corazón.
Muchas gracias.
¿Qué pasó? Alguien se robó el Emmy. Lo tengo. Se lo llevó alguien de la competencia. Sí. Vamos a buscarlo. Ok, vamos.
Sí, May Martínez.
Devuélvenos el Emmy.
¿Qué Emmy?
El que te robaste.
Por favor, déme en paz.
Juan García. Yo sé. ¿Fuiste tú?
No.
Natalia Martínez.
No lo tengo.
Elia Rusa.
No la tengo. Canalla.
Nancy Lu.
吓？你想等我？有冇搞錯啊？
Me temo que nunca lo vamos a encontrar.
De buenos sabores, delicias.
Yeah, how we doing, Chicago?
Thank you. Thank you. One more time for the fabulous Blues Brothers.
Ladies and gentlemen, the president of the Chicago Midwest chapter of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, Steve Novak.
Good evening. Well, that's a hard act to follow. Welcome to our 60th Emmy Awards. Just a little piece of business before we get this show started. If there are 2 winners in any category, we request that only one person take an Emmy for each category. You'll have an opportunity to get your Emmys afterwards. Well, welcome again to our 60th Awards. As we joyfully celebrate all the hard work and accomplishments our NATA scholars and of this year's NATA scholars and Emmy nominees, we want to take a moment to acknowledge the serious work of journalism in an increasingly hostile world. The potential dangers to journalists around the globe and threats to a free press everywhere are in sharp focus of late. We want to stand with our colleagues who strive day in and day out to bring the facts and important stories to viewers locally, nationally, and internationally. The First Amendment is vitally important to us all, and as it appears to be increasingly under siege, we want to both stand with and commend the journalists in the trenches every day. Reporters who search for the truth and ask the tough questions. Our host tonight faces these challenges daily, and just this week defended a colleague during a contentious press conference.
That's enough. Put down the mic.
Mr. President, are you worried about indictments coming down in this investigation? Mr. President.
I'll tell you what, CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them. You are a rude, terrible person. You shouldn't be working for CNN. Go ahead.
I think that's unfair.
You're a very rude person. The way you treat Sarah Huckabee is horrible. And the way you treat other people are horrible. You shouldn't treat people that way. Go ahead. Go ahead, Peter, go ahead.
In Jim's defense, I've traveled with him and watched him. He's a diligent reporter who busts his
Well, I'm
butt
not a
like
big
the rest
fan of
us.
yours either, so
I understand.
to be honest.
So let me ask you a question if I can. You repeatedly said...
You aren't the best.
Mr. President, you repeatedly, over the course of
Okay,
the...
just sit down, please. Well, when you report fake news, when you report fake news, which CNN does a lot, you are the enemy of the people. Go ahead.
Mr. President, over the course of the last several days of the campaign, sir, at the end of the campaign, you repeatedly said that Americans need to fear Democrats. You said Democrats would unleash a wave of violent crime that endangers families everywhere. Why are you
Because
pitting
they're very weak on
Americans?
crime.
Why are you pitting Americans
Peter.
against one another, sir?
Peter, what are you trying to be, him?
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's host, NBC News national correspondent and newly announced Weekend Today show co-host, Peter Alexander.
Thank you guys very much. Please be seated. Thank you guys very much for including me on this night for that remarkable welcome. First of all, let me welcome you to the 60th annual Chicago Midwest Emmy Awards. I'm so proud to be here with you on this evening. We have a great celebration. Let me begin, if I may, by thanking my hosts, the folks who brought me here, the Board of Governors, to Steve Novak, to Diana Borey, to Natus in general. I appreciate you guys for including me on this special night. I am truly so honored to serve as your MC tonight as we celebrate excellence in reporting across this region over the last year, and we commend those aspiring journalists with us tonight who share our dedication to this incredibly important line of work. Personally, I feel particularly proud to be here tonight because as a student at the Medill School of Journalism at Northwestern University, more than 20 years ago, and they just beat up on Iowa tonight, so go Cats, huh? You like that? We can get this party started right now. I watched many of the people in this room every evening trying to emulate them as I carved out my own course in television news. Some guy named Lester Holt, I haven't seen him since, but I hear he's doing well. A bunch of others who we celebrate on this evening. I was here on this stage, lined up like those young folks we saw a while ago, 21 years ago. I was a recipient of the John and Ann Drury Scholarship. I was so proud to see him as part of that video a short time ago. So truly, it is because of the experiences, thanks to the Chicago Midwest chapter, to what they did to support me, that ultimately I made it to NBC. If you indulge me for a moment, literally 7 years after I won that honor, the Natus chapter here, they wrote a little article about where is he now. I was a reporter in Seattle. And an NBC colleague at the time, David Bloom, had just passed away. And the bosses at NBC read the Natus newsletter, saw my face, and one of the executives, who at the time ran the Weekend Today show in Dateline, who he would later tell me, said that, man, this guy reminds me of David, which was the guy I most looked up to in television news. I got a phone call from a guy out of the blue that said, you don't know who I am, but look me up, and I'm going to make your career. So literally, because of Natus, because of them following up with me, I'm at NBC, and I'm a part of this business today, so I thank you. Tonight, we celebrate you, the representatives of a profession, an industry, a constitutionally protected line of work that is increasingly under attack. Most certainly, it is under scrutiny. As some of those in power try to cast doubt on reporting and try to brand facts as fake, now more than ever, we have to keep our heads down. We have to do our job every day, each day, undeterred, busting our butts to get the story right. It's not about us. It's never been about us. It's about the truth. As I see it, we are not advocates for Democrats. We're not advocates for Republicans. We are advocates for the facts, whatever they may be. So with those words, I want to get this special night started. We have a lot of people to celebrate tonight. In advance, I wish you all good luck. It gives me great pleasure to welcome Chicago native and ABC 7 reporter Jessica D'Onofrio.
Wow, I'm really short. Hi, TV people. How are you tonight? Good evening. I'm really so honored to be here. I'm also honored to help celebrate this group of young people who are about to receive the same scholarship that I received so many years ago, and I'm not going to tell you the year because that would date myself. I remember when I applied for the NATA scholarship, I was paying to go to Northwestern's Medill School of Journalism. Yeah. And there were plenty of other students from my school who applied for the exact same scholarship. Some of them I would see on campus, at the campus newsroom, and they were the undergrads. They were the ones who were very, very good at what they did. So I thought I didn't have a chance. When I went to the interview, I saw some of them in the waiting room, and again, I thought to myself, you know, there's no way I am going to get this. So with nothing to lose, I went into that review panel interview with that long conference room table full of news veterans. And they asked me all sorts of questions. They asked me how I would cover current events in Chicago differently. So I answered those questions, and I left, and I hope it at least went somewhat well, but I went home without much hope. And then my phone rang, and the voice on the other end congratulated me on my NATA scholarship. And I was floored, and I was honored, and after that, I never let myself say again, not me. I instead went forward saying, why not me? And it was a lesson in confidence and a reminder to believe in yourself. And I thank Natus for that lesson, and I hold it with me, and I hope that all of the scholarship award winners tonight realize that they are here for a reason. So I read all of this because I am so short and I cannot see the presidential prompter. So now onto the awards. I'm going to try and kind of lift myself up a little bit here. I've been asked to give a couple of ground rules. When your winning entry is announced, please move swiftly to the stage, receive your Emmy. Remember, only one designated spokesperson per winning entry, and please keep your comments very brief or you will hear this. Okay, there you go. All right, let's begin. For category 6A, arts, culture, entertainment, news, features, and I'm standing on my tiptoes, and the nominees are...
Nicole Harpa, Wisconsin Public Television. Preserving the Conservator, Jim D. Young, WMVS. Picture Perfect, WITI. A Disney Director's Animated Life, WGN. Bucky on Parade Series, WMTV. Public Art from All the Angles, Chicago Tribune.
All right. And the Emmy goes to Nicole Harpa, Wisconsin Public Television.
Then there are 12 sympathetic resonation strings. So as you play a tune, those resonation strings start to hum, and it fills out the sound. So you have this acoustic instrument with built-in reverb, and it's all natural.
I don't believe they are here tonight, so oh, yay! All right, come on up.
Thank you. We are actually in the Kansas City room, which is outside the ballroom over there on the side. So I ran as fast as I could to get here. I apologize for the delay. It was a sold-out event, so thank you for your patience. I want to thank Ryan Ward, who did an amazing job shooting and editing that piece. Christine and Sloan Miller and Kelly Saran, our producers of Wisconsin Life, the magazine show that was part of. I want to thank all my colleagues in the Kansas City room who are watching me on the monitor right now, and all my colleagues back at Madison and Wisconsin Public Television. Thank you.
Congratulations. On to our next category, 6B, Business Consumer News Features. And the nominees are...
Inside Foxconn, WITI. IRS Scammer Fights Back, WDJT. Hidden Hazards, Dangerous Toys, WITI. I-Team, Pin Slamming, WLS. A Crash Course, Bad Car Sales, WITI. Chambelanes dejan plantada a quinceañera el día de su fiesta, WSNS. Michiana 2027, Elkhart County's Resurgence, WBND.
And the Emmy goes to Inside Foxconn, WITI.
This is the blueprint upon which the Wisconsin project will be built.
We are putting the same concept design in Wisconsin.
The blueprint.
This plant is roughly 400 acres.
But with one big difference.
We have about 1,000 acres in Wisconsin.
A difference that will give you a new understanding of the enormity of what Foxconn plans for Mount Pleasant.
Thank you on behalf of Brad Hicks and Fox 6, and Dave Machuda is really the drive behind this, as long as Brad getting to go and do that whole story. I had nothing to do with it. Thank you.
Congratulations. Next category, 6C, Crime News Features. And the nominees are...
Surviving the Summer, WGN. No Face, No Case, WITI. Free Matt Sopron, WBBM. The Daniel Green Interview, WMAQ. Hispanics Framed by Detective Guevara, WGBO.
And the Emmy goes to No Face, No Case, WITI.
Prosecutors have been battling this problem long even before that. They worked with Fox 6 News in 2002 and again in 2006 to educate victims about witness tampering. And it sure looks like that education is paying off. They have now charged more than 800 offenders with intimidation since launching the unit 9 years ago.
Wow, this is a big room, a lot of people, everybody. Congratulations for being here tonight. But we've got about 4 tables full of people from WITI. Shout out Milwaukee. I want to thank Andy Conkle and Jeff Frings, who these names show up all the time on awards from WITI. Leanne Watson, our executive producer. And to my lovely wife. Thank you.
Always smart to thank your wife. Always smart to do that. And for category 6D, Education, Schools, News Features, and the nominees are...
Teaching Kids to Fly, WGN. Grandpa Fred, WMTV. Teacher of the Month, Delia Story, WGN. Experience is the best teacher, WGN. No license? No problem, WITI.
And the Emmy goes to Experience is the Best Teacher, WGN.
97% of Embark students graduate from high school, and 93% go to college.
You can imagine what would happen if every single school in this city was able to use experiences, connect with the city, connect with our community, to really not just move outcomes for our kids, but to reduce violence, to reduce crime, guns, to change outcomes, and to build a stronger collective social fabric for everyone.
You know, after hearing Peter Alexander's opening remarks about the big break he got in his career, I just have one question for the newsletter people here at Natus. Is there any way you can do a follow-up on me? No, honestly, I really do believe that I work at the best place in the country, WGN. It is the greatest local station in America, and we only get to do stories like this because we have the most outstanding news director. Don't take my word for it. Broadcasting and Cable magazine said she's the greatest. Jen Lyons, thank you. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for letting us do this great work. And Mike D'Angelo did an awesome job with this story as well.
And let me tell you, he has a lot of Emmys. I know this. Category 6E, Environment News Features, and the nominees are...
Here Comes the Sun, the draw and awe of Chicago Henge, WGN. Contaminated, a family's loss in their fight for answers, WREX.
And the Emmy goes to Here Comes the Sun, the draw and awe of Chicago Henge,
In
WGN
modern urban
News.
Chicago, the henges are vast canyons of brick and steel, through which radiant light streams twice a year. At 6:47 on the solstice, the sky turned bright orange.
It's definitely dead center.
The sun,
A pretty cool, like, red glow coming through the streets.
perfectly centered, frozen in a column of concrete.
Back to back. I'll just say one quick thing about this story. The two photographers who worked on it are really the ones who deserve all the credit. Kevin Dolman and Reed Nolan could not be here tonight, but they're the ones to whom this is owed. Thank you very much.
Category 6F, Health, Science, News Features. And the nominees are...
Black Women and Infertility, WGN. Life at Lambeau, WITI. Uncharted Territory, Kelly and Megan's Journey, WISC. New Hope Through Tragedy, The Silver Lining to the Opioid Epidemic, WITI. Nail Through the Heart, WBAY. Alexia's Story, WTMJ.
And the Emmy goes to Life at Lambeau, WITI.
He did have a heart attack.
When his eyes opened days later,
He kept asking me, who saved me? And I'm like, I don't know.
a journey began to find the woman doctors say saved him.
Every year he says, I need to find this woman and thank her.
Long-time check writer, first-time winner. So, when I first met my wife, we were competitors in Champaign, Illinois, small TV station, fighting over who would get the Urbana sweet corn exclusive. And the biggest fights I ever had in my life were when I was competing against my wife. For the last 7 years, it's been great because we worked at the same place at WITI at Fox 6. Until tonight, because my wife was also up. I don't know why we did this, but we put in for the same category. But unlike when we were fighting back in Champaign and really getting in fights over really dumb stories, the difference tonight, she really, I mean, we're a team. She's the first person I go, this story, I went to her. She helped me craft this story. She wrote the last line of this story. I owe everything besides news in the crazy world that we're in. She'll get the, but I owe everything, not just in news, but everything we do. I love you. Thank you so much.
Aww.
Andy Conkle, best photojournalist in the world, and thank you to all of the people who did this story. Thank you so much.
Well, there's no fighting in my household, but my husband has 5 Emmys, and after 18 years in the business, I have 0. But we share them. Maybe tonight's my night. We'll see. Anyways, first category, 6G Human Interest News Features, and the nominees are...
More Than Words, WITI. Sculpting a Shamrock, WITI. The Whole Milwaukee, WITI. Crash Victim Reunion, WGN. Was Art, Wisconsin Public Television. The Widow's Ring, WMTV. At That Big Guy 700, Lucha contra la Obesidad, WSNS.
And the Emmy goes to... Boy, you guys are doing something right at WITI. The Whole Milwaukee.
Oh, people connect all right. You'll see lots of stuff for sale, mostly drugs.
And it's open source, it's out there.
For the whole Milwaukee to see, including Milwaukee Police.
They can't tell you we use it as an investigative tool.
And that's echoed by the Attorney General.
We have put together
major drug trafficking cases based on starting with nothing more than a thread like that.
Wow. I don't really know what to say. I was really hoping Brad would be here to give this speech, but I'd like to thank everyone. Really happy to work at WITI. And I guess I don't know who you thank. I guess you thank your family, my wife, my beautiful wife who's sitting over here. So thank you, this means a lot. Thank you.
The good news is for party favors tonight, everybody's going home with one of Mike Lowe's Emmys, so congratulations to all of you. I'm going to take a couple. There's already a few back there. Before we go any further, I would like to introduce the accounting team from Whitflea LLP, the CPA pros who have tabulated tonight's results, Sarah Makuta and her team. Our next presenter worked in Milwaukee and Chicago before returning to her hometown as a reporter for the NBC O&O in Miami, Laura Rodriguez.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Laura Rodriguez. I'm so happy to be back in Chicago. I'm from Miami, but I spent some of the best years of my life right here in Chicago as a student at Northwestern University. Go Cats! Northwestern News Network, I see you. Natus and the Ephraim family helped make that experience possible thanks to a generous scholarship that I received in 2010. I'm grateful to the organization and to so many in the news industry who have mentored me along the way. Some are sitting in this room tonight, so thank you to all of you. From guiding me through internships to offering me my very first job, I have so much to be thankful for. And I was asked to share a few things about what I've learned about the news industry since my days as a college student. So one, this job puts my life into perspective on a daily basis because of the stories I cover. Two, don't burn any bridges. The news director from your freshman year internship might just end up being your news director at your dream job. So now, let's give out some Emmys. Category 6H for politics or government news report or series. The nominees are
Clipped Wings, The Kestrel Aircraft Story, WITI. Reverend Jesse Jackson Remembers Martin Luther King Assassination, WGN. Fleeing Illinois, WGN. Political Dollars and Cents, WMAQ.
And the Emmy goes to... There are 2 Emmys being awarded in this category. Fleeing Illinois, WGN, and Political Dollars and Cents, WMAQ.
More than 17,000 Chicago area residents have moved to Nashville in the last 5 years.
I miss a lot of it. I'm a downtown guy. I mean, like I said, my dad grew up in Roseland, my mom in Park Forest, but I grew up on the near north side. I didn't want to leave Chicago.
New York Times bestselling author Brad Thor moved 4 years ago and isn't shy about the reasons why.
Grand Wrigley Field total, $446,000.
Triple.
There were 5 purchases of White Sox tickets totaling over $171,000. And Bulls tickets totaling over $95,000. Altogether, more than $700,000.
Please come up to receive your award.
Not mine, this is Ben's, but on behalf of Ben Bradley, this guy works really hard. Thank you.
Carol and I would like to thank you all, and especially the enormously talented Zach Chrisman, who is a full partner in this. He's leaving NBC, and we will miss him. He leaves next week. Also, our great photography staff and the great politicians that we get to cover. You are the gift that keeps on giving. in one real serious note, we lost a great member of our community this week, Mike Parker. When Carol and I were doing what she calls the experimental newscast back on WBBM in 2000, the very best thing, and she will echo this, the very best part of that newscast were the stories turned in by Mike Parker, who was a brilliant writer and reporter, and we will miss him all. Thank you very much.
All right, category 6I, Military News Reporter Series. The nominees are
Brothers of the Bunker Hill, WGN. Soaring the High Seas, a Navy series, WITI. Weco Beach Taps, WNDU. J.R. Saltzman, Wisconsin Public Television. The Woman in the Picture, WMTV.
And the Emmy goes to The Woman in the Picture, WMTV.
Thank you. Thank you for your kindness to him and all of the American soldiers.
A new chapter and a new picture. 1,000 words don't even come close.
For my dad, I got to change his story just a little bit. And he got to say thank you, even if I was the one delivering the message 73 years later.
Oh, gosh, thank you. I work down the road from WITI at WMTV. To all my wonderful colleagues there, thank you so much. It's such a joy to share this honor with you, to Chief Photojournalist and Editor Jeremy Nichols, to Jerry Huffman and Carol Larson, and Jerry's dad, Paul, a World War II veteran like my father, my late father. And this is for all of them. It's wonderful to share their stories and to remember their sacrifice and what they did for all of us. So thank you so much. And to my lovely Anna for being there, awake most nights when I get home from this god-awful shift. Thank you so much. This is a real pleasure. I really appreciate this honor. Thank you.
For category 6J, Religion News Reporter Series, the nominees are
From a Gang to God, WSNS. Dahira's American Hijab, Voice of America TV. Dad of 8, Father to All, WITI. Angel at the Border, WGN.
And the Emmy goes to... There are 2 Emmys being awarded in this category. From a Gang to God, WSNS, and Dad of 8, Father to All, WITI.
Cuando era tan solo un adolescente y después de pasar por una crisis familiar, Emanuel Rivera encontró refugio en las pandillas. Las fiestas, el consumo de drogas y la violencia formaban parte de su día a día, hasta el punto de que hasta su propia vida dejó de tener sentido.
So how can a married man become clergy without abiding by the sacred vow of celibacy?
In today's gospel,
for the answer, you have to go back several decades.
In 1980, Pope John Paul II decided to allow married men to become priests in certain situations.
So, hello everyone. I grew up Catholic. I went to 13 years of Catholic school, and I was at church one day in Milwaukee after joining WITI, which I'm so proud to be a part of, and there was a priest who was married with 8 children, and I couldn't believe it. I thought it was a deacon, and they were, no, he's a priest. There's only 100 of them in the entire U.S. They convert from Anglican, Episcopalian religion. It's fascinating, it's cool. I'm proud to have worked with Jerry Immig on this story. He was a phenomenal photographer. He couldn't be here tonight. I thank him, thank my husband Joe, thank WITI, phenomenal news station, and thank you again.
Well, thank you. I'm beyond honored. Thank you to the producers, Casey Mitchell, Raúl Quiñones, Meredith Veloz, of course, Diana too, for supporting my idea. I'm from Spain, and the first time I was hired here in the USA, I was pregnant. I was 9 months pregnant. When I was hired by NBC Telemundo, I was pregnant with my second child, and now I won the Emmy. I'm pregnant with my third. So this goes to all mothers who work. Don't ever feel bad for working with love and passion, because that is the best gift we can give to them. And that is the best lesson they can learn from us. Thank you to my parents. When I was in my third year of law and business, I decided to quit, and they didn't say, "Are you crazy? Are you studying journalism now?" They said, "Go for it," and they supported me the whole way. And of course, thank you to my husband. He believes in my dreams even more than I do, even if that means leaving your own country. So I love you too. And I think I thanked everybody. I'm sorry. Déjame decir unas palabras en español, la lengua con la que crecí, la que me enseñaron mis padres, y que lo que quiero decir es que nunca ha sido un obstáculo, sino un motivo de orgullo por nuestras raíces poder hablarla. Yo me siento una privilegiada de poder hablarla aquí en Estados Unidos, poder dirigirme a todos ustedes en español, de hacerlo aquí y por supuesto en América Latina, en España y en cualquier rincón del mundo. Thank you all and God bless this country. I'm so thankful.
Category 6K for Sports News Report or Series. The nominees are
Just One of the Guys, WISN. A Shot in the Dark, WITI. Marcel's Moment, Wisconsin Public Television. Jackson's Wish, Wisconsin Public Television. The Game Changers, WGN.
And the Emmy goes to Jackson's Wish, Wisconsin Public Television.
And that's how Jackson ended up with a baseball stadium in his backyard. Make-A-Wish and the Brewers brought Miller Park to Ithaca. Behold Jackson's Brew Crew Park.
Thank you. Getting my workout in tonight from the Kansas City room. I saw a few people kind of walk by since I mentioned it last time. I've seen people kind of walk by and peek in that there's people in the room across the hall. But first of all, I want to thank Ryan Ward, who did an amazing job, an incredible job shooting that piece. Then thanks to Brad and Rhonda Lewis, the parents of Jackson. Jackson had brain cancer, and they built a replica of Miller Park in his backyard through Make-A-Wish. And it was just an amazing thing to see. And every year they hold a wiffle ball tournament to raise money for cancer charities, cancer research, things of that nature. So it was just really an honor. That's why we do what we do, is to be able to tell stories like that about people who go through life's the hardest things you can go through in life, and then turn around and use that to give something to others. And so we were really proud to do this piece. Thank you.
Now, to help present my final two categories tonight, I'd like to welcome two of my scholarship donors, talent agent Elliot Ephraim and NATA Chicago treasurer David Ephraim. Please welcome them to the stage. All right, category 6L, weather news report or series. The nominees are
Inside the Storm, WBND. Anniversary of the Barneveld Tornado, WMTV. Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria, WGN. Weathering the Storm after Hurricane Harvey, WISC.
And the Emmy goes to Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria, WGN.
The signs of Hurricane Maria's wrath are still here. The town still has no power. Water service is not very reliable, and people are running out of cash. But that's why Dr. Lopez has a long to-do list in her phone.
So it's about helping wherever we can.
So I won for weather, and I'm not Tom Skilling. And if you Google me, I'm Ana Belaval, and I went crazy over Ricky Martin last January. But this, I can say with no doubt, is my proudest professional moment. I am from San Juan, Puerto Rico, and my family was affected by Hurricane Maria. And as soon as this happened, WGN gave me the opportunity to use every platform possible to explain to people what was going on in Puerto Rico and to basically tell them that we were part of the United States. And we needed help. When I went to journalism school 22 years ago, we were told that we were never the story. I wouldn't have qualified to cover this when I went to school because I was too close to the story. But Sandy Puder, Jen Lyons, and Paul Rennie said, you have to tell this story because it is your story and your people, and people want to hear from you. So I want to thank them for trusting that I still had journalistic instincts and that I could tell this story personally and professionally accurate. I want to thank my husband, Steve, who has sacrificed his career, his privacy, for me to make my dreams come true, and was the one who said after the third failed attempt to go to Puerto Rico, when I said my niece is living now with us, and we're raising another kid because she had no power in Puerto Rico, so we took her in. He said, I'll stay home with them for a week, and you go check on your people and tell the story of the U.S. citizens that need help. I want to thank Hector Betancourt, who is not only my cameraman and producer, but also my brother. He was my first cameraman at Univision, so it was like coming full circle. And everyone here tonight, thank you so much. Es un honor para mí. Que viva Puerto Rico. Esto es para Puerto Rico.
For category 6M, Societal Concerns News Report or Series, the nominees are
Common Grounds, WGN. Homelessness in Chicago, WGN. Constitutional Controversy, WITI. Underage Ride Sharing, Too Young to Ride, WMAQ and WSNS. Everyday Racism, WGN. The Faces of the Opioid Epidemic, WREX. Deadly Distraction, WMTV. Changing Spaces, WITI.
And there are 2 Emmys in this category. The Emmys go to Underage Ride Sharing, Too Young to Ride, WMAQ, WSNS, and The Faces of the Opioid Epidemic, WREX.
What you may not know is that Uber and Lyft, in their own policies, prohibit hauling children, anyone under the age of 18, unless accompanied by an adult. But we've found those rules are routinely violated by both riders and drivers.
I've been struggling with addiction for 11 years now, and I've been kind of bouncing in and out of the program, in and out of the state to different places. I don't know, for me, the most important thing here is the structure and the accountability.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to the judges, first of all, for choosing our story. Thank you to the bosses, Diana, Frank, Tracy, for trusting us to do this story. And this story really belongs to our producer, Courtney, who actually went on and became an Uber driver for this story, an undercover Uber driver, and we had undercover cameras. And if you guys don't get a chance to watch this, just know that if your children are underage, they're not allowed to ride in a Lyft or an Uber by themselves. Thank you so much.
I want to quickly say thank you to everybody on the small WREX staff, all 19 of us back in Rockford, for an incredible job. If you look in the booklet, I think about 19 are on this submission, all 19. It was truly a team effort. One of those people is my wife, our anchor at WREX, who was here 1 month after a pretty serious car accident where she broke 3 bones in her ankle, her back, her tailbone. She's here with us. She's on this nomination as well, so I'm thrilled you're here. And for all the news directors out there, this submission is 4 5-minute stories, and I know that freaks a lot of people out, but telling good stories, I don't think you can put a time limit on it. And we allowed 5-minute stories, 6-minute stories to tell the importance of the opioid epidemic, and I think we did a pretty good job. Thank you.
Please welcome Lisa Rao from Silver Dollar City and Branson, Missouri.
Good evening. Thank you all so much for the second year, the honor of sponsoring your Emmys. And I would think that some of you wonder, why do we, Branson and Silver Dollar City, why do we sponsor your Emmys? And while I have a personal reason, I was an intern at WGN way back in the day, and it launched my early career. Yay! Hi, Tom Skilling, remember me? Anyway, the bigger reason, and we mean this. Did I call him by the wrong name? No. The bigger reason is that we believe in journalism. We believe in journalists. We believe in storytelling. We believe in what you all do each and every day to make our communities a better place. And in our own way, we are also storytellers. We bring the colorful history and lore of geographic regions to life. And it was a Chicago family, the Hershens, who traveled down to the Ozark Mountains in search of wildflowers back in the 50s. They started giving cave tours in an impressive and massive cave. And soon, in 1960, they started something called Silver Dollar City. And they quickly learned they were in the theme park business. Today, Silver Dollar City is internationally awarded for festivals, for roller coasters, and for our all-around culture. And Hershen Family Entertainment, that Chicago family, is now the owners of the largest family-owned theme park corporation in all of America. So yay, hear it for the Hershens and that good Chicago water, right? So I want to tell you guys, we also bring to life a neat story about the old paddle wheelers of yesteryear, and we have a property in Branson called the Showboat Branson Belle. So bringing to you their own classic rock medley, the stars of the Showboat Branson Belle.
2, 3, 4. Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. Come on, guys, ready? We got some fun. Let's do it. Once I rose above the noise and confusion, just to get a glimpse beyond this illusion. I was soaring ever higher, but I flew too high. Though my eyes could see, I still was a blind man. Though my mind could think, I still was a madman. I hear the voices, now I'm dreaming. I can hear them say, don't you cry no more.
Ladies and gentlemen from Houston, Texas, let's hear it
Detroit, Texas. Give it up for the beautiful Kelsey Watts.
Desperado, why don't you come to your senses? Been out riding fences for so long now. Well, you're a hard one. I know that you have your reasons. These things that are pleasing you can hurt you somehow. Well, don't your feet get cold in the winter time? The sky won't snow and the sun won't shine. It's hard to tell the nighttime from the day. 'Cause when you're losing all your highs and lows, ain't it funny how the feeling goes away? Oh, it goes away. Desperado, why don't you come to your senses? Come down from your fences and open the gate, or it may be raining. Oh, but there's a rainbow above you. You better let somebody love you before it's too
Just a small town girl